Over $320 million in crypto liquidated in 24 hours. The market has lately seen $288.22 million worth of digital asset sales, according to new information from intelligence company CoinGlass, as a result of the market being more volatile after Ethereum's merge update. Welcome to Crypto Inquiry, where we are dedicated to providing you, the investor, and the crypto curious with factual information and topics. Our goal is to keep you informed to make educated and timely decisions and remove the fog of hidden information. Nothing is meant as financial advice, and always do your own research before investing. Here we are building a community to help each other stay informed and make the most of our financial gains. Ethereum is the cryptocurrency most impacted by sell-off, followed by Bitcoin, according to CoinGlass. The world's biggest smart contract platform lost $169.64 million, or more than 4 times the value of Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency by market cap, which lost $38.24 million. Sentiment, a market intelligence website, reports that traders expect Ethereum to fall in value before the merger takes place, which caused the price of the biggest cryptocurrency to decline. According to its report, as traders bet Ethereum would fall leading up to the merge, short liquidations have been the story thus far. After Ethereum's price dropped to $1,565 after Tuesday's CPI report, traders expecting a drop bet wrong after this mild bounce back up to $1,635. Sentiment predicts that since Ethereum switched to a proof-of-stake network, its volatility will continue to rise. The Sentiment report further states that Ethereum's merge day has justifiably been the overarching trend, even with its now concluded and relatively drama-free expected outcome. Over the past year, Ethereum has seen less interest, but this event will propel volatility for the near future. Bitcoin is the cleanest industrial use of electricity. Michael Saylor, a controversial proponent of Bitcoin, asserts that it is the most efficient, cleanest industrial use of electricity. According to figures from his company, the executive chairman of MicroStrategy, around 59.5% of energy used for Bitcoin mining originates from sustainable sources. Saylor also pointed to a 46% increase in energy efficiency for Bitcoin mining over the previous year. According to Saylor, a $420 billion Bitcoin network is powered by $4 to $5 billion in energy. According to him, the product is worth 100 times the energy intake cost. This means that Bitcoin uses far less energy than Google, Netflix, or Facebook, and 1 to 2 orders of magnitude less energy than classic 20th century businesses like agriculture, aviation, logistics, and retail. Proof-of-stake networks were also slammed by the MicroStrategy CEO. He said that proof-of-stake POS networks are probably securities, not commodities, and that we may anticipate them to be handled as such over time. This is something that regulators and legal experts have noticed frequently. Proof-of-stake or POS crypto securities may be viable for some users, but they are not ideal to function as a worldwide open settlement network or as a global open fair money. Therefore, comparing Bitcoin to proof-of-stake networks is absurd. Saylor stepped down as CEO of MicroStrategy last month, claiming that the decision was not connected to the software company's roughly $1 billion in Bitcoin losses in the second quarter of the year. Carl A. Racine, the Attorney General for Washington, D.C., said in late August that he is suing the Bitcoin maximalist because he has lived there for more than 10 years but has never paid taxes. China rules crypto as property. Recently, the Beijing No. 1 Intermediate People's Court determined that Litecoin, LTC, is a virtual commodity that may be seen as an individual's property, much like data. The court argued that because it is a virtual asset and does not fit the criteria for money, it is personal property and should be treated as such. The decision is notable in light of the nation's stringent encryption restrictions. China outlawed all cryptocurrency trading and mining in 2021. Thereby putting an end to the nation's expanding crypto market. It led to a large-scale flight of cryptocurrency miners who fled to nations like Kazakhstan and the United States, especially Texas, where they could carry on mining Bitcoin. The issue occurred when 2 parties went before the court about a loan disagreement concerning the cryptocurrency Litecoin, or LTC. In 2015, one of them, Zai Wenji, had given the other, Ding Hao, 50,000 LTC or Litecoin. Ding had agreed to repay the money over a certain time frame, but he didn't follow through. The latter has asserted that the government's prohibition on cryptocurrencies has prevented him from taking part in any kind of Bitcoin transaction. The court, however, rejected that line of reasoning and decided to rule in Wenji's favor. To accommodate legal technicalities, the Beijing court's decision included manipulating the regulatory framework. The court decided that the disputed Litecoin or LTC token does not qualify as a currency and should instead be viewed more as property, comparable to data ownership, to circumvent China's prohibition on cryptocurrencies. Due to this restriction, LTC or Litecoin and other cryptocurrencies are considered legal to acquire and trade under Chinese law. First ever digital asset framework. The very first comprehensive framework to help regulate digital assets, such as central bank digital currency or CBDCs and cryptocurrencies, has been developed as a result of a 6-month examination of digital assets after President Biden's executive order. A White House fact sheet claims that the market for digital assets has expanded substantially in recent years. Millions of investors worldwide are now utilizing cryptocurrencies, and 16% of Americans have purchased them. In March of this year, Biden issued an executive order directing several government departments to do a study on digital assets and to compile studies with framework and policy suggestions. 9 reports were submitted, and the White House fact sheet stated that they provided a clear framework for ethical digital asset development and paved the path for more domestic and international action. The papers encouraged the Federal Reserve to carry out its ongoing study in this area while acknowledging that central bank digital currency, or CBDCs, did have related concerns. Concerning worries about financial stability, the fact sheet cited the meltdown of the Terra USD stablecoin in May of this year and the subsequent insolvencies that led to the loss of around $6 billion in value. The Treasury will collaborate with financial institutions to strengthen their capacity to recognize and address cyber threats by sharing knowledge and encouraging the use of a wide variety of data sets and analytical tools, according to the fact sheet. Additionally, it pledged to work with U.S. ally organizations like the Financial Stability Board, or FSB, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, to identify, monitor, and assess any potential hazards that the market for digital assets may bring about. The Treasury has been entrusted with creating a financial risk assessment on DeFi, or decentralized finance, to be finished by February 2023. Binance overpays clients millions. According to those with direct knowledge of the situation, an accounting error at Binance resulted in a windfall for some users in Helium Network's native HNT coin and left the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world with a multi-million-dollar deficit. According to the sources, Binance has lost 4.8 million HNT tokens that were mistakenly distributed to users, many of whom sold the tokens for a profit right away. The value of the assets at the time was around $19 million. The wrong payments seem to be related to how Binance manages token deposits from the well-known decentralized internet connection project Helium Network. There are 2 types of tokens on Helium: the native HNT token, which Helium pays to hotspot hosts, and the mobile token, which Helium pays to operators of its recently built 5G infrastructure and lacks a liquid market and quotable price. The 2 tokens are different assets, even though they are connected. Just like ERC20 and Ether tokens on Ethereum, they were wrongly counted as one by Binance. HNT depositors received an equivalent amount of the more value HNT when they transferred mobile to Binance addresses. However, not until 4.8 million HNT tokens were issued in place of mobile before the error was fixed. The timing of the dividends ties up with major HNT token sell-off, which sent the price of the tokens down from about $7 to current levels around $4. Vietnam takes top spot in global crypto adoption. The top 20 nations in Chainalysis 2022 Global Crypto Adoption Index were recently revealed in research. Peer-to-peer trading volume, total and retail DeFi or decentralized finance transaction volume, purchasing power party per capita for each nation, and total and retail on-chain crypto value received at centralized exchanges were the 5 sub-indicates that Chainalysis used to calculate the rankings. Vietnam holds the top spot for the 2nd year in a row for the nation with the most adoption of cryptocurrencies, according to the overall index rating. Despite the Central Bank of Nigeria's repeated prohibition on cryptocurrency trading in February 2021, Nigeria, which is ranked number 11 internationally, is showing increasing acceptance of the emerging technology. The United States, which had previously been 6th and 8th, has now moved up to the 5th place. Although the U.S. appears to have a high adoption rate, investors and dealers there still have to contend with disjointed laws. Additionally, China improved from its place of 13 in 2021 to 10th in the most current global rankings. The Chinese government has frequently cracked down on the cryptocurrency industry, and the country's restriction on Bitcoin mining has led to a migration of miners to more welcoming countries. Well, that's a wrap on this video. So what do you think about USA's first ever crypto framework? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Bye!